do you think that you grew up with privilege?
Yeah.
And you have also...
I grew up in a house with 2,000 to 3,000 books. When my mother moved to Delhi, we had to give away half those books. They couldn't fit in our house in Delhi.
Right, right. Privilege is changing form now. So privilege about 50 years ago would also mean that they would help societies build a lot of things for the future generations. Now, privilege is also, people with privileges also, they are also stooping quite low, and privilege is being misused.
No, I think privilege has always been used and misused or whatever it is. I mean, there was a reason that other than Dr. Ambedkar, pretty much every person of consequence in our early years of our country were from a particular community. There's this great story by, I keep getting mixed up with, president and the writer. R.K. Narayan or K.R. Narayan? Who's the writer? Short story writer.
R.K. Narayan.
R.K. Narayan. So, An Astrologer's Day.
Huh.
The short story was that about this astrologer. He basically looks at everybody's palm and says the same three things. And everybody believes that about themselves. One of those things is you give a lot more to the world than the world gives to you. You are a very giving person. The most selfish, self-indulgent, self-centered asshole also thinks about themselves that I give a lot more to the world than I get back. Second is that you have a very soft interior but very hard exterior. No matter how big a pushover and wimp you are, everybody likes to believe that my exterior is pretty hard, but inside I'm soft. Even people who have a really soft exterior but are real selfish dicks, even they believe that about themselves. So, there are 2-3 things. So everybody thinks that their struggle has been like even some of these Nepo kids in Bollywood, it's slightly unfair term, but now it's in use, what can I say? When I see the interviews, I feel really bad, and sometimes you don't want to say anything very nice because they're in their early 20s, etc. But I think they genuinely believe that things have been hard for them. I give this example all the time. When you and I drive on the streets of Delhi or any city, you see children. I mean, right now the weather is good in Delhi, but in peak winter, all those kids below flyovers, by the end of winter, 10% will die.
True.
And you'll be driving for a dinner where you'll probably spend anything between 5,000 to 20,000 rupees. But you will not stop and say, let me buy
a blanket for them.
And you can do that every night.
Every night.
And you could save so many lives. I think 100 years from now, people will say, so there were billionaires like Ambani who had a house worth 2 billion and there were people dying of the cold. What kind of animals were all of you? And they'd be right. But today it seems normal. Today it seems normal for the Prime Minister of our country to, when he has to go somewhere, you cover up those jhuggis. It seems normal. 100 years from now, people will say, were you like animals? Just like we look at people who owned slaves back then. Or just the way people who owned slaves looked at people who ate raw meat and, thought that the way to make a family is to catch a woman, hit her on the head, the Neanderthals and take her to your cave. Similarly, we will be judged by future generations on those parameters. We shouldn't assume that we have reached the pinnacle of evolution and this is all our values and moral uprightness has reached its pinnacle. No. I think we live in a world that is hideously unequal. And in some ways, it's as bad as slavery. In some ways, it's as bad as the caste system. And just like we look at those times and say, what kind of ignorant assholes are those people? People look at us and say that and they'd be right. So I think a lack of acknowledgement of your privilege is a real serious flaw.
What is your definition of privilege?
My definition of privilege is, it's a variety of things. It could be financial, it could be social, generational, because, confidence also comes from the environment you live in. Like, I don't hesitate when I want to start a business. I know I have a network where I can get shit done. That confidence doesn't come from having any money in the bank or having any... It comes from just knowing that, dude, I have generations. You go to one of these Delhi parties and you see 2 different kinds of people. There'll be those kind of people who will come and say to some of the biggest well-known VIPs here, hello sir, and they know each other. And then the other person, oh, hi, auntie, how are you? Hello, hi, uncle. Dad was saying hi. That person, if that person has to do something, that person is not consciously, that person knows, dude, I have 20 daddies, granddaddies, generational privilege. So it's, money in the bank is also privilege. It's a different kind of privilege. So that's, I mean, it means different things in different contexts. But a lack of acknowledgement is just, I mean, you got to be really stupid. And stupidity is way more common than we think.